Hey guys, welcome back to the Debate Hut. Today we've got a Disney debate for you, one that I've been waiting to do. And as you can tell probably from the title or the thumbnail of this video, you know this is going to be a Lion King one, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Not one of my, it is my favorite movie. So, so this debate is, why is the Lion King 1994 movie better than the 2019 version? So I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to do this through categories like Best Simba, Best Mufasa, all the way to the end of which movie overall is better. So we're going to get going, but before we do, please make sure to like and subscribe and let us know down below which movie is better and why. And also, if you want to see any more of these old versus new sort of Disney debates or anything else as well, doesn't have to be Disney. But yeah, right. First category is Best Simba. So what I've always loved about watching The Lion King is that we get to see Simba, go from being a kid who's only like really interested in becoming a king to an adult who doesn't want anything to do with it. And until he returns to Pride Rock to fight Scar. And both versions had this. There are problems with the 2019 version with the visuals mainly, which leads to a less interesting Simba than the 1994 one. So the 1994 one does win for sure, but they are quite similar. There's not that many differences in both the stories. So I guess also being the original, the 1994 has to win.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm going to stick with the original because the only thing that is similar between the original and the remake is that baby Simba is so adorable. I must admit that. But I think in the original, we get to see more face expressions from Simba. Like when he was a cub, he was so energetic and funny, to him being sad and afraid. And then to adult, he's a free spirit lion, then he becomes vengeful. There wasn't much face expressions from the remake, which is I am ashamed they did that, but they just made it too realistic. So I'm gonna have to stick with the original.
I am agreeing with both of you on this. I just loving animation and stuff. We get to see every facial expression. They put so much detail into bringing this character to life for us without it being live action. And I think it deserves the love it got from it. So we're going with the original.
Cool. So all of us agree with the 1994 Simba. Right, next one, Best Mufasa. I was really surprised and actually happy when I heard that James Earl Jones was returning to voice Mufasa in the 2019 version. And quite a lot of the lines are similar between both versions. There are some new ones as well from the 2019 version. And whilst we had the same voice actor, the 1994 one still just stands out to me as the best. Again, it's the thing with the visuals and the facial expressions, but there's just also just something about his voice in the first one that sounds better. Like it does hit different for some reason. I don't know. Of course, with age, your voice changes. I don't know if that's the reason maybe, but I just feel like the 1994 one just matches Mufasa better. Again, the visuals didn't help, but yeah, the 1994 Mufasa, 100%.
Yeah, I was really skeptical when they used the same actor, and I had every right to be, because when I watched the remake, I was really disgusted because I thought, if you're going to use the same actor, change some lines, because I feel like he's repeating the same lines again and again. I mean, you might as well use the same lines he recorded back in the 90s. I mean, there was literally no point. This probably was a different like sounding in the remake. He was just probably tired, thinking, why the hell am I repeating the same lines again and again? It's just again, same kind of characteristics. He's protective, he's a good father, good king. But the remake didn't give out anything new or special, so I'm gonna stick with the original.
You guys have both kind of said it for me. Again, the original, it hits different. I'm glad I guess kind of glad, kind of skeptical. I mean, it happened. They obviously brought the same actor in, but it's just, can it be repeated? You know, we had this iconic, amazingly done character from the beginning. Even if it was the same actor bringing it back to us, it just didn't beat the original.
Cool. Next one is best scar. I'm not even sure if I should bother discussing this one because, you know, we've had some iconic Disney roles such as Robin Williams as the genie, Eddie Murphy as Mushu, Pat Carroll as Ursula, and this is one of them. Scar is cunning, he's evil, and his song Be Prepared is one of the best villain songs ever. Let us know down below if you agree or disagree with that. And there were some changes made to the 2019 Scar, such as that he actually did try to challenge Mufasa and ended up losing. And whilst he is sort of angrier and sort of terrifying in a sense, he doesn't beat the 1994 Scar for me. His version of Be Prepared was good as well, in my opinion, but it doesn't give me the same chills as the 1994 one did. Like, there are some massive differences between them. I like that they sort of kept it, but they also changed it up. I think it's definitely one of the better songs they did in the live action 2019 version. But the 1994 one, like, Scar is more sly and he's like working away in the back, you know, like he's like the puppet master, you know, evil mastermind working there, just, you know, trying to plot everything, make it all right, trying to manipulate people. And I think that's why, you know, this 1994 version of Scar is like the best version and also makes one of the best Disney villains ever.
Yeah, I definitely 100% agree. Like, you can only find the right actors who fit the right characters, and Jeremy Irons had the best voice for this character. He was sly and evil. You could just feel his cunningness coming out. And in the original, he just sounded so calm and tempting. Like he could easily persuade Simba or others to believe him, and that was so great about him. He was so manipulative, and he could just do anything he wants. And I think that was a right voice. In the remake, while the actor did do a good job, he sounded more tough, more darker. And while I just feel like for Scar, like, because he's such a sly character, he has to have that voice where it sounds a bit calmer, a bit more alluring. But the remake just sounded more like just sounded more dull and more solid, like, if that makes sense. So again, Be Prepared by Scar, like, did it just show off like his evilness, his madness, and while the remake, yeah, that Scar didn't do good at all, not really. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the original.
I'm starting to see a running theme here, and I knew this theme would appear. So again, I'm agreeing with both of you at the fact that the original just was better. Don't get me wrong, the new live action Scar did try his best and he done a great job, but it just didn't reach the standards of what we were set, you know.
Okay, next category, best Timon and Pumbaa. So these are Simba's best friends and they help him after he loses his dad and he decides to run away. And honestly, they're great characters. They're funny, they're supportive, and of course there's a lot of Hakuna Matata. And I don't think you could ever hate them. And that was until we got to the 2019 version. Their comedy just wasn't funny. I don't know if it was just me. I felt like they were trying too hard to be funny, and it just came across to me like it was just more annoying than actually being funny. Best parts was their version of The Lion Sleeps Tonight, which was actually decent. And the Be Our Guest reference, again, really good. But saying that, I still miss the hula dance from the original. Like, how could they cut that? That is such an iconic moment. But yeah, the 2019 version, both of them very annoying, not even funny. was just sitting there when I was watching, and I was like, should I be laughing? Was this supposed to be funny? 1994 version, absolutely perfect. They were funny, they were great characters, they were interesting. Yeah, missed a lot of that in the 2019 one. So again, the 1994 version.
Yeah, the best sidekicks ever in Disney, like one of the best. So yeah, I like them. They were funny, they were a good duo in the film and became a trio with Simba. And they were funny, supportive. And the remake didn't I don't know what, but I didn't feel like they had the right comedy. The only thing that was funny was the Be Our Guest cameo thing, which was good. But again, I still rather prefer the hula dance because even that wasn't in the script. Nathan Lane, the actor of Timon, just blurted out and the animators just added it in. So it just didn't feel like they had the right chemistry of like comedy and friendship. It just felt again, it just felt a little bit dull for me. So I'm gonna stick with the original Timon and Pumbaa.
Again, the original, it's just, it cannot be beaten. And I feel like this video has just become a complete hate train for the new remake.
Yeah. Well,
Every
in the remake.
decided to debate on has won us over, and I don't know if any of the others are going to be much different. But once again, I agree with both of you. The original Timon and Pumbaa cannot be beaten. They're the best sidekicks as you want to put them, but they make the majority of that film. Without them, it would be a whole different dynamic and it would just be a whole different film. And I feel like we did see that film in the new live action remake because we didn't get to see Timon and Pumbaa. They might have had the same names and designs, I guess, of them with being the same animals, but it was not their original characteristics and humor.
All right, next one is best supporting characters. So I'm going to start off with Nala. I liked that we got to see Nala's escape from Pride Rock. That was a really good addition in the 2019 version. But what I hate is that they got Beyoncé to voice her. I love Beyoncé and I love her music, and yeah, there's nothing against Beyoncé. It's just I just feel like she was just a bad choice for Nala. Like when I was watching it and hearing Nala speak, I was like, that's just Beyoncé. Like it was so noticeable, and it took away from the magic of it being a movie and it being Nala. And I mean, apart from that, the 1994 and 2019 Nala were pretty much the same. Nala has a bit more of screen time in the 2019 version, but again, the facial expressions. So I'm a little mixed for this one. And then Rafiki, I'm sorry, but I was really, really disappointed in the 2019 version that they missed the stick analogy from Rafiki. You know, he's like, oh, did this hurt? Like, the past can't hurt. I missed that. I was waiting for that. I was so disappointed. It's like one of the best inspirational quotes ever, and that was missing. And Rafiki in the 2019 version doesn't seem like much of a guide or a help to Simba. Of course, we get that whole remember scene, but I mean, he does help, but his wisdom and guidance from the 1994 is just lacking when compared. I mean, the fact that they got rid of that part, the past can't hurt, oh, it just makes me so angry. So the 1994 Rafiki wins. Hyenas, again, same as Timon and Pumbaa for the 2019 version. They were trying to be funny, but they weren't. It was just very annoying. They were trying to make the same joke again. Like, this is my space, stay out of my space. Why do you always come close to me? Like, that's just like, what on earth? Why on earth would you include that? What was that all about? So again, 1994 one. Let's not even mention Zazu because is it just me or was anybody else freaked out by Zazu in the 2019 version? He looks scary. And Rowan Atkinson did a great job of voicing Zazu from the original. He is Zazu. Like he was just a perfect fit. And 2019 version, I mean, just the visuals was enough to put me off. But Zazu again, I didn't really enjoy his character. So again, 1994. So to sum up, best supporting characters, 1994.
Yeah, so for Nala, while I like in the remake that they gave Nala more scenes based solely on her, like her escape from the Pride Rock or her fight against Shanzi. And I'm not gonna lie, Beyonce is a good voice actress. She does sound pretty good. I just don't think she was the right type for Nala. She sounds more of like a mother like, because the actress from the original, she was only like 25 when she voiced Nala. So she sounded like not a full adult, but not a full grown up, but a young adult as well. So like she sounds young, but she feels she's still be young and she's still got a lot to learn. And that's the same for like Simba as well. Beyonce just sounded a bit older, so I just didn't felt like that connection in a way. Rafiki, agree with Emily. Like this was not a big character, but a very like important character. That makes sense. Like he was always there. He was there when Simba like race, he gave Simba the soccer life stand or something, and he was there to guide Simba to find who he is for the reflection and to talk with the ghost of Mufasa. And also he had like a character like when he found out Simba was alive in the original, he was very energetic, he was so happy. We didn't get that in the remake. And yeah, I was really angry. I was really angry that they didn't use one of the best and wisest quotes to ever be said in film. Like, yes, the past can hurt, but the way I see it is that you can either run from it or learn from it. Well, Disney, learn from your mistake. You ruined the best version of The Lion King. And the hyenas, yeah, agree with Emily again. They're trying to make it funny, but they weren't. And the original, like in the original, they were funny then, and they were also very creepy at the same time. And they were such a good trio as well. Like just the three of them together, really. I don't know why they split them apart. And they just never made the scene scary. I mean, it looks like more like a little bit of a documentary of like just them really, but not just doesn't feel very cinematic. And Zazu again, yeah, he didn't give me that same feeling. I don't know if he wasn't scary to me, no offense Emily, he just looked very natural because I guess it's realistic CGI, but yeah, he just wasn't funny and I just didn't get a good vibe from him. So I'm going to stick all of that on the original. I'm sticking to the 1994.
I mean, I think it's been said for all of the characters. Nala is, I feel like one of the first strong female lead characters we see in Disney. And we get to see that in the original, but not so much in the new remake. It's just, it kind of gets taken away a little bit from her. And I get what you mean with like, I love Beyonce, don't get me wrong, absolutely love her, and her as a voice actor I also love. Like I love her in so many other things. Don't ask me right this second because I can't think of anything, but I know she's in one thing and I can't remember what it is. Go for it.
I think it was an Epic. I think it was an animated film. Yeah.
Yes. So Epic, if you haven't seen it, amazing film. Go watch it. But she's incredible in that. I just don't think she was the right fit for this. Like Grace said, she is quite motherly voiced. She's got that experience behind her. We needed someone who was a bit uncertain, a bit younger, who kind of gave that still similar vibe that, hey, I am a growing lion and I am learning from my mistakes. And I feel like she was just a bit too strong for the role, if that makes sense. Rafiki, I absolutely love his character. I adore this character. He says so much wise stuff. If you've seen Kung Fu Panda, him and Master Oogway would be best friends. You cannot tell me otherwise. They have been placed page to page in a book as almost the exact same character, and I love both of them. But we just didn't get to see this in the new remake. That quote that Grace has lovely stated for us, it's incredible. Like it is such a learning curve for so many people, and it makes so much sense. And they completely took it away from us. Like, it is one of the most well-known quotes in Disney, and they just decided, hey, let's just scrap it. We don't need this. I don't know if anyone on here is on TikTok or has heard the viral sound, but it's literally Rafiki talking and then it's Master Oogway's quote straight after. They are the most iconic quotes we know, and they completely scrapped it. So Disney, I don't know what you're doing, but that was a poor decision on your behalf. The hyenas have always freaked me out. Always. They were always creepy in the original, and I loved them for it. Again, being an art student, loving animation, the design, you just don't see the animated features and the expression and the characterization that you see from the original in any of these new live action films. And it's completely taken away from us, and I hate it. Then the last one being Zazu, I will agree with Emily. He was a little bit freaky. That eye was freaking me out quite a bit. I don't like birds, I can't lie. Pigeons are my arch nemesis. However, the way they designed him, I know it's realistic, but it was just a little bit scary. And he was meant to be a guide and a leader for Simba, and I just couldn't get past the creepy eye that was staring into my soul through the screen. So again, we're going with the original.
Best visuals. So, I mean, we've already talked about what we're missing from Disney, and we did talk about 2D animation, and that's one of the things I miss from Disney, because it looks so elegant and it looks more artistic, you know? It looks like they've taken time and effort. Not saying that, you know, all of the other stuff hasn't, but, you know, there's just something about this. And that is one of the things I loved about The Lion King 1994 version. And then we get the live action, and of course it wasn't animated. It was all done using CGI, and whilst it does look really impressive, it just doesn't work for the story for me personally. It felt like I was watching a nature documentary with like audio in the background, narrating stuff and whatnot. It just didn't feel like a movie, and the loss of color, I get the lines don't like look usually like what we saw in the 1994 version and the other creatures too, but it just made the movie more fun. And I guess they were going for a more realistic approach, which I get, but it's a children's movie. Like, bring our color, bring in the fun. And facial expressions, again, I'm not going to repeat it, but I think, you know, I'm not happy about that. So the 1994 version wins again.
Okay, well, I admire the CGI, and I admire the fact they're not using real animals for show or film, which is really good. I'm definitely stepping over to the 1994 side because the animation is beautiful. Literally, the characters are well designed, the backgrounds, it's mind-blowing, and it gives you a great atmosphere of like the jungle, like, and how it reflects like some scenes, like when it's dark, it's eerie, spooky, and when it's light, it's beautifully colored, it's amazing. And it felt more natural in the animation. I mean, I know the remake is meant to feel a bit more realistic, but the animation, it feels more believable.
Don't get me wrong. The adaptation and technology that it takes for this CGI and live action to become a thing is incredible. It's absolutely insane. And the way they've managed to make these tigers look, they are real, and they're talking to us and they're acting out and they're doing all of this. It's incredible. However, it just does not be our original colourful animated version of The Lion King. Again, not to repeat myself, but I am an art student, and seeing the way movies used to be and the way they are now, I feel like it's just so lacking in so much creativity. And it's just a shame that we are losing all of that. And I feel like there could be such a nice balance between each films, because I know some people do prefer live actions. I know some people prefer animated. It would be nice to have a balance between the two rather than scrapping such an amazing craft completely. So yeah. The original has my complete heart.
Okay, the next category is Best Musical Soundtrack. One of the best things about The Lion King is the soundtrack. The different scores, the songs, they all just make the movie that extra bit better. For example, I love the score for the Kings of the Past moment between Simba and Mufasa, or even Remember. They're so iconic. Like, I'm sure if I played it, you'd be able to tell me where they're from. So that's the 1994 one. The 2019 one had pretty much the same songs. There were some changes to lyrics and there were some new additions here and there. Be Prepared was pretty cool, but it will never beat Jeremy Irons' version, The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Also pretty good. I enjoyed that. Circle of Life, pretty decent, but everything else just wasn't as good as the original. And the score, like the placing of certain bits of the score was changed. Of course, I knew going into it, it wasn't going to be exactly the same, but to me, it sounded really weird. It just didn't feel like it fit where it was supposed to. So altogether, the score and the songs, the 1994 one is better.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna defend the remake one because, to be honest, I just feel like the original has a more upbeat and more, you can just hear the characters like energy and all the focus the actors in that day put in these songs. I feel like while the remake they sort of did like that, I just didn't feel the same vibe. I didn't feel the love in Can You Feel the Love Tonight. I didn't feel a bit of like energy in Can't Wait to Be King. And when I heard this is on the soundtrack, I didn't watch this. I listened to this before the film, but when I was listening to Be Prepared, and during halfway, I was thinking, when is he gonna start singing? And I realized he's been singing, but he was been talking, and I was like, that's not Be Prepared. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how they did Be Prepared. I felt like they really reduced it to nothing. I felt like he was just talking, like slowly talking, and I didn't understand that because I think the actor can sing, so I don't know why they changed it, like why they didn't make him sing in that. And yeah, I'm not gonna, definitely the original, screw the remake.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Again, the original just completely hits different. I Just Can't Wait to Be King is such an iconic song, and it's constant, at least stuck in my head once a week. I don't know how it gets there, but it just makes its way in, and it's always there. So it is what it is, but it just can't be beaten. So original all the way.
Okay, and we come to the last one, Best Overall Movie. So I'm just going to sum up, I guess, everything. So the 2019 one had good CGI. I liked the new additions, but personally, to me, it had no impact on me. Like the certain scenes, like as Mufasa's death or Remember, like I didn't get that, those goosebumps or like that. Whoa, I was feeling really sad or like emotional or anything. I just felt like I was just watching it just for the sake of it. Just felt like a nature documentary. Story is pretty much the same, and yet it felt worse. How that's possible, I don't have a clue. 1994 version, beautiful animation, good storyline with comedy, great characters. The soundtrack was amazing, impactful, emotional scenes. It literally ticks off everything that you would want in a movie. And so the best overall movie to me is the 1994 version of The Lion King, the original.
Oh yeah, there's no standing for the remake here. This is all for the original. This like no facial emotions. There's no. It was just blah, nothing, blank, nothing, just nothing in the remake. I'm not gonna argue much because you could just see for yourself there was nothing much. Good CGI. Just too realistic for me. I prefer the magic in the original.
I think describing it as magic is the best way to put it. The original is just that. It is an amazing, incredible film with such creativity and just originality. It didn't need to be copied and pasted into a live action, then made completely worse. I'm sorry, but it was. And if you do love the live action, then go ahead. I'm not hating on you for loving it, but it is a little bit of a poor life decision. Rewatch the original and tell me that the remake is better, please. But yeah, the original is just the best one out there.
So it seems like we've all come to the same decision, which is very weird because this doesn't happen quite often. It's very rare. But we've all decided that the original 1994 version of The Lion King is the best one.
Yes. So again, let us know in the comments what you think. I'm assuming you guys are going to agree with us, but if you don't, that's okay. Write it in the comments. Let us know why the remake is better. It's not, but I'll let you have your opinion. Kind of. Anyways, please make sure to check out other videos that we have up on our channel. We have way more Disney, Marvel, random debates that you guys can check out. We've also got loads of get to know us videos if you guys want to delve a bit deeper into the debate heart and how we work as a friendship group and why we're here. So if you've enjoyed, like, subscribe, leave a comment on what you want us to do next, and we shall see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.